9-year-old Emma sat on the cold grass beside her father's grave. In her small hands, she held a bunch of daisies that were turning brown at the edges. The flowers looked sad, just like she felt every single day. The gray headstone read, "Michael Carter, loving father and husband, rest in peace." "Daddy," Emma whispered, her voice shaking. "I miss you so much. Everything is so different now that you're gone." She wiped her nose with her sleeve. The wind blew through the cemetery trees, making them sway and dance. To Emma, it felt like her father was listening from somewhere far away. "Victoria is mean to me, Daddy. She yells at me all the time. She makes me clean the whole house and eat food that makes my stomach hurt." Emma's voice cracked. "And she keeps saying Mommy is dead, but I don't believe her. I can't believe her." Tears rolled down her cheeks. "Victoria showed me a grave with Mommy's name on it. But Daddy, I feel it in my heart. Mommy is alive. She has to be. She wouldn't just leave me forever." The little girl looked up at the cloudy sky. "If you can hear me, Daddy, please tell Mommy to come find me. I need her so much." A shadow fell across the grave, blocking out the weak sunlight. "Emma." The voice was sharp and cold like broken glass. Emma's heart sank. She looked up slowly to see Victoria standing over her, tall and angry. Victoria wore expensive sunglasses and a designer coat that probably cost more than a car. "What are you doing here?" Victoria's voice had that fake sweetness that made Emma's skin crawl. "I specifically told you never to come to this cemetery again." Emma scrambled to her feet, still holding the sad daisies. "I wanted to talk to Daddy." "Your father is dead," Victoria said through clenched teeth. "Talking to a grave won't bring him back. You're wasting your time with this nonsense." "I'm not doing nonsense," Emma said, her voice getting louder. "And I don't care what you say. My mommy isn't dead either. She's alive somewhere. I know it." Victoria's face turned red with anger. Her hand shot out and grabbed Emma's arm. Not hard enough to leave a bruise, but hard enough to make Emma gasp. "Listen to me, you foolish little girl," Victoria hissed. "Your mother is dead. She died years ago. There's a grave with her name on it. Accept reality and stop living in fantasy." "You're lying." Emma tried to pull away, but Victoria's grip tightened. Victoria's smile turned mean and ugly. "Do you know what happens to little girls who tell crazy stories? Who talk to graves and imagine their dead mothers are alive?" Emma's breath caught in her throat. "They get sent to special homes," Victoria continued, leaning closer. Her expensive perfume smelled too strong. "Very quiet places with white walls and locked doors. Places for children who can't tell the difference between real life and pretend." "You can't do that," Emma whispered, fear crawling up her spine. "Oh, but I can." Victoria's voice was sweet like poison. "There's a lovely facility just outside the city. They give special medicine to help confused children sleep. You'd sleep so much, Emma. All day, every day. Wouldn't that be peaceful?" Emma shook her head, tears streaming down her face. "All I have to do is tell the doctors you're having episodes," Victoria said. "Talking to dead people, refusing to eat, fainting, making up stories about people being alive when they're buried in the ground." She counted on her perfectly painted fingers. "The doctors would agree with me. They always believe the adults." "Please," Emma begged. "Your father left me in charge of you," Victoria said coldly. "And if I say you need help, you'll get help, whether you want it or not." "So here's what will happen," Victoria said, her voice turning businesslike. "You will stop this ridiculous behavior. You will stop coming to this cemetery. You will stop talking about your mother being alive. And you will be a grateful little girl who accepts that I am the only mother you have now." She pulled Emma toward the parking lot, her heels clicking on the pavement. "And if you don't?" Victoria smiled that terrible smile again. "Well, I hope you like sleeping, because you'll be doing a lot of it in that nice, quiet room with soft walls." "I hate you," Emma whispered through her tears. "That's fine," Victoria said coldly. "You don't have to like me, you just have to obey me." She opened the car door and pushed Emma inside. "Now get in before I decide you're having an episode right here." As they drove away from the cemetery, Emma pressed her face against the cold window. She watched her father's grave get smaller and smaller until it disappeared completely. Her arm hurt where Victoria had grabbed it. Her heart hurt even worse. But deep inside, something strong and certain refused to break. "You can threaten me all you want," Emma thought, clenching her small fists. "But I know the truth. My mommy is alive. I can feel it. And when she comes back, you're going to be so sorry." What Emma didn't know, couldn't possibly know, was that she was absolutely right. Her mother was alive, and she was coming home. Catherine Mitchell walked through the airport terminal like a queen entering her kingdom. Gone was the scared 22-year-old girl who had fled this city 9 years ago. In her place stood a woman made of steel and fire. She wore a sharp black business suit that cost more than most people earned in a month. Her dark hair was styled perfectly. Diamond earrings caught the light with every step. Her eyes were hard and determined, the eyes of someone who had survived hell and come back stronger. "Mommy, you're making that scary face again," said the little girl, holding her hand. Catherine looked down at 9-year-old Lily and softened. Lily had her mother's intelligence and her father's smile, though she'd never met him. She was brave and kind, and everything Catherine fought for. "Sorry, sweetheart," Catherine said, smoothing Lily's hair. "I was just thinking about what we came here to do." "We're going to find my sister, right?" Lily asked hopefully. "And make the bad people who took her very, very sorry?" Catherine knelt down to Lily's level, cupping her daughter's face. "Yes, baby. We're going to find Emma, and the people who stole her from us." Her voice turned cold as ice. "They're going to wish they'd never been born." "Good," Lily said firmly. "Because Emma is out there somewhere. I can feel it in my heart, like there's a piece of me missing." Catherine's throat tightened with emotion. "If your sister is alive, and I believe she is, I'm bringing her home. I promise you that." As they collected their expensive luggage, memories crashed over Catherine like waves. The basement had been so cold and dark. Her hands had been chained to an old bed frame. 7 months pregnant, starving, hidden away like a shameful secret. "Please," she had begged when Victoria brought down scraps of food. "Please, I need a doctor. The baby needs help." "You need nothing," Victoria had said with cold hatred. "You're an embarrassment to this family. Your father should have gotten rid of you years ago." "I'm his daughter," Catherine had cried. "You're a mistake," Victoria had sneered, "just like your father was a mistake. Did you know he was planning to change his will? Going to leave everything to you instead of me?" She had laughed cruelly. His car accident was very convenient timing. So easy to cut the brake lines when he was at work. The truth had hit Catherine like a punch. "You killed him. You killed my father." "Prove it," Victoria had smiled. "Oh, wait, you can't, because you're locked in a basement and no one even knows you exist anymore." But Victoria had been wrong. Catherine had survived. She had escaped. And now, she was back. Catherine shook off the dark memories and focused on the present. Lily tugged her hand, bringing her back to reality. "Mommy, you're crying," Lily said softly. Catherine touched her face and found it wet. She wiped the tears away quickly. "I'm okay, sweetheart. Just remembering things that happened a long time ago." "Bad things?" "Yes, but also the moment I first held you." Catherine smiled through her tears. "That was the best moment of my life." She had gone into labor alone in that freezing basement. The pain had been unbearable. Victoria had finally called a doctor, but only because she didn't want Catherine dying and causing problems. Dr. Harrison had been kind despite the terrible situation. When the first baby came out tiny and struggling to breathe, Victoria had snatched her away immediately. "This one won't survive the night," Victoria had declared coldly. "I'll take care of it." Then the second baby arrived, bigger and stronger, but completely silent. Catherine had been terrified until Dr. Harrison whispered, "She's alive, just quiet. Play along." "The second baby is dead," Victoria had announced, believing the lie. We'll have it cremated immediately." But Dr. Harrison had helped Catherine escape through a basement window that night. Baby Lily wrapped in blankets, while Victoria thought they were arranging cremation services. "For 9 years, I thought Emma was dead," Catherine said quietly as they walked toward the hotel exit. "I built a new life in London. I studied medicine and became Dr. Monroe. I saved lives and made money, lots of money." "Because you wanted to come back strong," Lily said, understanding beyond her years. "Exactly. I needed power and wealth to fight Victoria, to take back what she stole from me." Catherine's jaw set with determination. "And 6 months ago, I learned the truth. Emma didn't die. Victoria gave her to someone else and told them I was dead." "That's so evil," Lily whispered. "Yes, it is. But now we're here, and Victoria has no idea what's coming." The Grand Plaza Hotel was the fanciest place Lily had ever seen. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling. The floors were polished marble. Even the doorman's uniform looked expensive. "Welcome to the Grand Plaza, Ms. Mitchell," the desk manager said with a warm smile. "Your penthouse suite is ready." "Penthouse?" Lily's eyes went huge. "Mommy, we're staying in a penthouse?" "Only the best for my girl," Catherine said, signing the papers. She noticed curious glances from other guests. Let them stare. By tomorrow, everyone would know exactly who she was. "Mommy, I need to use the bathroom," Lily said, bouncing on her toes. Catherine spotted the restroom signs nearby. "Okay, but be quick. And Lily?" I know, Lily recited. "Don't talk to strangers. Don't take candy from weird people. Scream really loud if anyone's creepy." "That's my smart girl." Catherine watched Lily skip toward the bathroom, completely unaware that fate was about to change everything. Lily pushed open the bathroom door, humming a song from her favorite cartoon. She went to the sink to wash her hands because Mommy said hotel bathrooms had a million germs. She reached for the soap dispenser and glanced up at the mirror. Then she froze completely. There was another girl at the sink next to her, a girl with her exact same face, same brown eyes, same nose, same everything. Except this girl's hair was in 2 ponytails instead of Lily's braids, and she looked tired and thin, like she hadn't been eating enough. For several heartbeats, neither girl moved. They just stared at each other's reflections, like seeing a glitch in reality. Finally, Lily turned around slowly. Hi?" The other girl turned too, her eyes wide with shock. "Hi." They stepped closer to each other, circling like curious cats studying something impossible. "This is so weird," Lily breathed. So weird," the other girl agreed. "You look exactly like me." "You look exactly like me," Lily said. "What's your name?" the other girl asked. "Lily. What's yours?" "Emma." And just like that, with that simple exchange of names, something clicked into place. Like a puzzle piece you didn't know was missing, suddenly fitting perfectly where it belonged. "Are you..." Lily's voice came out barely louder than a whisper. "Are you my twin sister?" Emma's eyes filled with tears. "Your twin sister? You mean there's supposed to be 2 of us?" The words tumbled out of Lily in an excited rush. "Yes. My mommy had 2 baby girls 9 years ago, but a wicked lady named Victoria took one and said she died. But Mommy never believed it. She felt it in her heart that you were alive somewhere." She grabbed Emma's hands. "And we came here to find you. We came all the way from London to find out if maybe, just maybe, you were still alive." Emma's whole body started shaking. "Victoria, did you say Victoria?" "Yes, Victoria is the evil stepmother who stole you and..." "She says she's my mother," Emma practically shouted. "But she's so mean to me. She yells and hurts me and tries to make me eat things that make me sick. And she keeps saying my real mommy is dead." "Your real mommy is alive." Lily's eyes sparkled with tears. "She's here right now in the lobby. Our mommy is Catherine Mitchell." Emma gasped so loud it echoed in the bathroom. "Catherine Mitchell. That's the name Victoria mentioned once. She said Catherine died a long time ago." but I always felt like she was lying. She was lying about everything, Lily said fiercely. Our mommy is alive and strong and powerful. She's a famous doctor and she's really smart, and she's been looking for you for 9 years. Emma burst into tears. Not sad tears, but happy tears. Overwhelmed tears. I knew it. I knew my mommy was alive. I told my daddy at the grave. We have a daddy? Lily's eyes went wide. Yes. Emma's face lit up despite her exhaustion. Michael Carter. He died last year and I miss him so much. He was tall and kind and he loved me more than anything. Victoria wasn't always around when Daddy was alive, but after he died, she took over everything. Lily's heart hurt for her sister. I'm so sorry he died, but Emma, we have each other now, and we have Mommy. Does she know about me? Emma asked nervously. Does she know I'm alive? She suspected, Lily said. She never stopped looking for clues. That's why we came back to this city, to find the truth and to find you. Emma wiped her eyes. Victoria is going to be so angry when she finds out. She'll try to stop us from being together. Then we have to be smart about it, Lily said, her mind already racing. We can't just run out there and yell, "Surprise, we're twins!" The grown-ups will freak out. Yeah, they're weird like that, Emma agreed. What if we make them meet by accident? Lily suggested. You could pretend to feel sick in the lobby. I don't have to pretend much, Emma admitted quietly. I'm sick a lot. Victoria never takes me to good doctors. Lily's protective instincts flared. Well, our mommy is the best doctor in the world. She'll fix you right up, I promise. Emma! A sharp voice called from outside. Where are you? We need to leave. That's Julia, Victoria's assistant. Emma whispered urgently. I have to go. The girls grabbed each other's hands tightly. This isn't a dream, right? Emma asked, her voice shaking. We're really sisters. We're really going to be together. Not a dream, Lily squeezed back. We're twins, for real and forever. For real and forever, Emma repeated. Even though she'd only known her sister for 5 minutes, saying goodbye hurt like ripping off a bandage. They hugged quickly and fiercely. Emma could feel her sister's heart beating against her chest, the same rhythm as her own. Be brave, Lily whispered. Our mommy is coming for you, I promise. I'll be brave, Emma whispered back. I've been waiting my whole life for this. Then Emma slipped out of the bathroom, leaving Lily standing alone. Lily stared at her reflection in the mirror, except it wasn't just her reflection anymore. Somewhere in this city, she had a sister, a twin, another half of herself, and if Lily had anything to say about it, they were never going to be apart again. She took a deep breath, wiped her eyes, and walked back into the lobby. Catherine was waiting near the entrance, checking her phone. She looked up when Lily approached and smiled. There you are, ready to see our suite? Yeah, Lily said, trying to keep the excitement out of her voice. She wanted to scream, I found her! I found Emma! But she remembered their plan. They had to be sneaky. They had to be smart. You okay, sweetheart? Catherine asked, noticing something in Lily's expression. You look different. I'm perfect, Mommy, Lily said, and she meant it. Everything is perfect. Later that evening, Catherine sat in the hotel restaurant reviewing documents on her tablet. Her assistant Marcus sat across from her, updating her on Victoria's latest moves. Victoria called an emergency board meeting for tomorrow, Marcus said, adjusting his glasses. She's heard you're in town. She's planning to paint you as mentally unstable and unfit to control any part of the company. Catherine's laugh was cold and sharp. Of course she is. Same tactics, different decade. She took a sip of her coffee. Let her try. I have 9 years of evidence showing her fraud, embezzlement, and abuse. The board members are nervous, Marcus continued. Some of them profited from Victoria's schemes. They'll fight to protect themselves. They can fight all they want, Catherine said. When I'm done, Victoria will wish mentally unstable daughter was her only problem. Marcus pulled out another file. There's one more thing. To gain full control of Mitchell Industries, you'll need more shares. The biggest block outside Victoria's control, belongs to James Carter. Catherine looked up sharply. James Carter? Michael's younger brother? Yes, after Michael died last year, James inherited his shares. He's now one of the largest shareholders. Getting him on your side would give you the majority you need. Catherine sat back, thinking. She'd never met James Carter personally, but she knew his reputation. Young, brilliant, fiercely protective of family. Set up a meeting with him. Tomorrow afternoon. Will do, Marcus said. Boss, there's something else. James Carter has custody of a young girl, his niece. Catherine's heart skipped a beat, but she kept her face neutral. I see. Anything else I should know? Just that he's very protective of her. Family means everything to him. Emma sat quietly in Victoria's car as they drove home from the hotel. Her heart was still racing from meeting Lily. She had a sister, a real twin sister, and her mother was alive. You're very quiet, Victoria said, glancing at her in the rearview mirror. What's wrong with you? Nothing, Emma said quickly. I'm just tired. Victoria's eyes narrowed. You were gone a long time in that bathroom. What were you doing? Just washing my hands, Emma lied. She was getting good at lying to Victoria. She'd had to be. They pulled into the driveway of their large house. It looked beautiful from the outside, but Emma knew it was cold and lonely on the inside. Nothing like a real home should be. Emma, Victoria said as they walked to the door, I need to tell you something important. There's a woman in town, a very bad, dangerous woman named Catherine Mitchell. Emma's heart jumped, but she kept her face blank. Who's that? Someone from a long time ago who wants to cause trouble, Victoria said. If you see any strangers, especially women asking questions about you, you come tell me immediately. Do you understand? Yes, ma'am, Emma said quietly. Victoria studied her face. Good. Now go to your room. I don't want to see you until morning. Emma climbed the stairs to her small bedroom. It was plain and boring, nothing like she imagined Lily's room must be. She sat on her bed, hugging her pillow. Victoria was scared. Emma could tell. Victoria was afraid of Catherine Mitchell coming back. That meant Catherine was powerful. That meant she had a chance. The next morning, Catherine woke early, her mind focused on the day ahead. She had business meetings, a confrontation with Victoria, and a meeting with James Carter that could change everything. But when she walked into the living room, Lily was sitting on the couch, bouncing with barely contained excitement. Mommy, I have to tell you something, Lily blurted out. I know I said we should be sneaky, but I can't keep it secret anymore. Catherine sat down beside her. What is it, sweetheart? Yesterday in the hotel bathroom, Lily took a deep breath. I met her. I met Emma. Catherine's world stopped spinning. What? She was in the bathroom at the same time as me, Lily said, words tumbling out fast. We looked at each other and we knew right away. She looks exactly like me, Mommy. Exactly. And she told me about Victoria and how mean she is. And I told her about you, and we hugged and... Catherine pulled Lily into her arms, tears streaming down her face. Oh my God, baby. You found her. You actually found her. She's alive, Mommy, Lily said, crying too. Emma is alive, and she's been waiting for you her whole life. Where is she? Catherine pulled back, gripping Lily's shoulders. Where is my daughter? She lives with someone. She had to leave with a lady named Julia before we could talk more. But Mommy, she knows about you now. She knows you're alive. Catherine covered her face with her hands, sobbing. 9 years of grief and hope and determination crashed over her like a wave. My baby, my Emma is alive. Mommy, there's more, Lily said, wiping her eyes. Emma and I made a plan. We're going to make you meet her guardian by accident. She's going to pretend to faint and you'll help because you're a doctor, and then everyone will see the truth. Catherine laughed through her tears. You two are brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Then something clicked in her mind. Lily, where exactly was Emma going when she left the hotel? She said someone named Julia came to get her. Victoria's assistant, I think. Catherine grabbed her phone and called Marcus. Marcus, James Carter, the niece he has custody of. What's her name? There was a pause. Emma Carter, boss. Why? Catherine's hands shook. Emma Carter, Michael's daughter. Marcus, I need you to find out everything about how James got custody of her. Everything. On it, Marcus said. Catherine turned to Lily. Baby, I think I know where Emma is. James Carter isn't just a shareholder. He's Michael's brother. Michael Carter must have been... Her voice broke. He must have raised Emma all these years. So our daddy's brother is taking care of her? Lily asked. Yes, which means Victoria gave Emma to Michael 9 years ago and told him I was dead, just like she told me Emma died. Catherine's jaw tightened with fury. She kept us apart with lies. But we found each other anyway, Lily said firmly, and today we're going to be a real family. Catherine pulled Lily close. Yes, we are, and Victoria is going to pay for every single lie. That afternoon, Catherine sat in the Grand Plaza's elegant lobby restaurant. Marcus sat across from her, reviewing documents on his tablet. James Carter will be here any minute, Marcus said. He agreed to meet, but he sounded cautious on the phone. He should be cautious, Catherine replied. Victoria has probably filled his head with lies about me. She sipped her coffee, trying to calm her nerves. In a few minutes, she would meet the man who had been raising her daughter, the man who thought she was dead or gone. How would he react to seeing her alive? Daddy, Daddy, help! The desperate cry cut through the lobby like a siren. Catherine's head snapped up so fast she nearly knocked over her coffee cup. Near the entrance, a little girl was collapsing into a man's arms. Hotel staff rushed over. People pulled out phones. But Catherine only saw one thing. The little girl looked exactly like Lily. Time seemed to slow down. Catherine watched the scene unfold as if underwater. The man catching the child, his face creased with panic. The girl's small body going limp. Boss, Marcus's voice sounded far away. That's James Carter. And that girl. Catherine's voice came out strangled. She was already standing, already moving. Her body operated on pure instinct. That's Emma, Marcus finished quietly. Catherine's heart hammered against her ribs. Her hands shook. 9 years of wondering, hoping, grieving, and there she was, her daughter, her baby, alive and right in front of her. Please, the man James was saying, someone get a doctor. My niece needs help. Catherine pushed through the gathering crowd, her professional mask sliding into place even as her heart shattered and rebuilt itself with every step. I'm a doctor, she said, her voice steady despite the chaos inside her. Let me help. James Carter looked up at the woman kneeling beside them, and his world tilted sideways. She was beautiful. That was his first thought. Striking, with intelligent eyes that seemed to see right through him. Her dark hair framed a face full of determination and strength. But it wasn't her beauty that made his breath catch. It was the way she was staring at Emma, like she'd seen a ghost, like the world had just cracked open and revealed something impossible. Who are you? James demanded, instinctively pulling Emma closer. I'm a doctor, the woman said, her voice steady, but James noticed her hands were trembling as she reached toward Emma. Please, let me examine her. Up close, James could see tears gathering in the woman's eyes, even as she maintained her professional composure. Something about her felt familiar, but he couldn't place it. What's your name? He asked, that prickling feeling at the back of his mind growing stronger. The woman's fingers found Emma's pulse point. James watched her face go through rapid emotions, shock, grief, joy, fury, before settling into practiced calm. Catherine, she said softly, never taking her eyes off Emma. Catherine Mitchell. The name hit James like a physical blow. Catherine Mitchell, the woman who was supposed to be dead, the woman whose grave he'd visited with Victoria, the woman Michael had mourned, the mother of his niece. Except she wasn't dead. She was right here. She was alive. That's impossible, James whispered, his mind racing. You're supposed to be dead? Catherine's voice turned cold as she looked up at him. Yes, I know. Victoria told you I died, didn't she? Probably showed you a grave with my name on it? James couldn't speak. He just nodded. Catherine focused on Emma, pushing aside the emotional storm inside her. She checked the girl's pulse, her breathing, looked at her pale skin and thin frame. "Her pulse is elevated," Catherine said, her doctor voice taking over. "Have you eaten today, sweetheart?" Emma's eyes fluttered open. She looked up at Catherine with wonder and recognition. "A little," she whispered. "Not much." "When was your last fainting spell?" Catherine asked gently. 3 days ago," Emma said quietly. Catherine's jaw clenched. She looked up at James, and he saw fury burning in her eyes. "Mr. Carter, your niece doesn't have a genetic disease. She has chronic poisoning combined with severe malnutrition." "What?" James felt the ground drop out from under him. "Look at these symptoms," Catherine said, her voice hard. "The fainting, the exhaustion, the pale skin. This is consistent with long-term exposure to small amounts of toxins. Someone has been poisoning Emma." James's face went white. "Victoria," he breathed. "Most likely," Catherine said. "Small doses over years, enough to make her sick, but not enough to kill her quickly. It keeps you dependent on the caretaker, desperate, controllable." "That monster," James whispered, pulling Emma closer. Catherine stood, and even though she was shorter than James, she seemed to tower with presence. "I can cure her. It will take 6 months of treatment, but I can completely reverse the damage. You can save her." Hope bloomed in James's chest. "Yes, I'm Dr. Monroe." The lobby fell silent. Dr. Monroe. The mysterious medical genius whose identity no one knew. The doctor who saved impossible cases. The doctor James had been desperately trying to contact for months. "You're Dr. Monroe?" James's voice cracked. "I've been sending emails, leaving messages." "I didn't come back to Bentonville to save lives, Mr. Carter," Catherine said coldly. "I came back for revenge," Catherine continued, her voice like ice. "But I won't let an innocent child suffer because of adult grudges. I can treat your niece. She caught herself. "Emma. I can cure her." "What do you want in return?" James asked carefully, though he already knew he'd pay any price. "Your shares in Mitchell Industries, 30%. Sign them over to me and I'll cure Emma." The crowd that had gathered gasped. People pulled out phones, already recording. This was going to be all over the news. James's hands clenched into fists. "You want to use my niece's life as leverage?" "I want what's mine." Fire blazed in Catherine's eyes. "My mother built that company. Victoria stole it from me. She stole everything from me." Her voice cracked almost imperceptibly. "My reputation, my freedom, my—" She stopped, unable to say "my daughter" in front of everyone. "And if I refuse?" James asked, though he already knew his answer. "Then find another doctor." Catherine's mask slipped back into place. "But we both know I'm her only hope. The other doctors have given up. I'm the only one who knows how to fix what's been done to her." They stared at each other, the air thick with tension and unspoken truths, and a past that was about to explode into the present. "Please, Uncle James," Emma said softly from his arms, breaking the spell. "I want the nice lady to help me. She feels safe." James looked down at his niece, at her hope, her exhaustion, her trust that he would do whatever it took to save her. He'd move mountains for this child. He'd give up everything. Signing over shares was nothing. "Fine," he said through gritted teeth. "We'll discuss terms. But I want a contract, and I want proof you can help her before I sign anything." "Fair enough," Catherine nodded crisply. "I'll need to examine her properly. Full medical history, blood work, everything. Can you come to my office tomorrow at 10? "I'll be there," James said. "You'll have everything you need." Catherine turned to leave, and James watched her go, his mind spinning with questions and revelations. The woman he'd thought dead for 9 years was alive. She was here. She was looking at Emma like a mother looks at her child. "Thank you, Miss Catherine," Emma called out softly. Catherine stopped, her shoulders tensed. For a moment, James thought she might cry. She took a shaky breath. "You're welcome, sweetheart," she said without turning around, her voice thick with emotion. "I'll see you tomorrow." Then she was gone. disappearing into the crowd like a beautiful, vengeful ghost. James stood there holding Emma, his heart pounding, his world completely upended. "Uncle James?" Emma looked up at him with eyes that were far too knowing for a 9-year-old. "Yes, Princess. That's my real mommy, isn't it?" James's breath caught. "What makes you say that?" "Because she looked at me the way you look at me," Emma said simply. "Like I'm the most important thing in the world." She smiled despite her exhaustion. "And because I could feel it right here." She placed her hand over her heart. "Emma, I have a twin sister," Emma continued. "Her name is Lily. I met her yesterday in the bathroom. We look exactly the same except she's healthy and I'm sick, but Miss Catherine is going to fix me." James felt like the ground was disappearing beneath his feet. "A twin sister?" "Victoria lied about everything, Uncle James," Emma said seriously. "She told you my mommy was dead, but she's not. She's alive, and she came back for me." James carried Emma to his car, his mind racing. Victoria had lied about everything. Catherine Mitchell wasn't dead. Emma had a twin sister, and Victoria had been slowly poisoning his niece to maintain control. "Uncle James, are you angry?" Emma asked quietly as he buckled her into the car seat. "Not at you, Princess," James said, kissing her forehead. "Never at you. But Victoria—" His jaw clenched. "Victoria has a lot to answer for." They drove home in silence. James needed time to process everything. 9 years of lies. 9 years of believing Catherine had abandoned her child or died. 9 years of raising Emma while her real mother searched for her. When they arrived home, Victoria's car was already in the driveway. "She's here," Emma whispered, shrinking back in her seat. "It's okay," James said firmly. "I won't let her hurt you. Not anymore." They walked inside to find Victoria pacing in the living room, her phone pressed to her ear. When she saw them, she hung up quickly. "There you are," she said with false sweetness. "Emma, darling. How was your day?" "Don't," James said coldly. "Don't pretend to care about her." Victoria's smile faltered. "Excuse me?" "Catherine Mitchell is alive," James said, watching her face carefully. "I just met her at the Grand Plaza Hotel." Victoria went pale, then red, then pale again. That's impossible." "Is it?" James moved closer. "Because she seemed very real to me, very much alive, and very angry about the lies you've been telling." "She's lying," Victoria said quickly. "Whatever she told you, she's manipulating you. She's always been unstable, dramatic." "She's a doctor," James interrupted. "Dr. Monroe, actually. The one I've been trying to contact for weeks to save Emma." Victoria's face twisted with something ugly, fear mixed with rage. "And Emma has a twin sister," James continued, "named Lily, who looks exactly like her." "Twin sister?" Victoria laughed, but it sounded panicked. "James, you can't believe this nonsense. Catherine is clearly mentally ill. She's making up stories to confuse you and take Emma away." "Get out," James said quietly. "What?" "Get out of my house." His voice was steel. "And stay away from Emma. If I find out you've been lying about anything else, anything, I will destroy you." Victoria's mask of sweetness completely shattered. "You can't throw me out. I've been part of Emma's life since she was born. I'm the only mother she's ever known." "You're not her mother," James said. "You never were. And I'm starting to think you never had the right to give her to Michael in the first place." He pulled out his phone. "Who are you calling?" "My lawyers," James said, "and then the police. Because if Catherine Mitchell is alive and you told us she was dead, that means you lied about how you got custody of Emma." His eyes went hard. "Which means you might have kidnapped her from her real mother." Victoria lunged for the phone, but James stepped back. "Security!" he called out. 2 security guards appeared. James had called them earlier, anticipating this confrontation. "Escort Ms. Ray out of the property," James said coldly. "She's no longer welcome here." "You'll regret this," Victoria screamed as the guards took her arms. "Catherine will destroy you. She destroys everything she touches." The only person being destroyed here is you, James said, for 9 years of lies, for poisoning an innocent child, for stealing her from her mother. As Victoria was dragged toward the door, still screaming threats, Emma emerged from where she'd been hiding in the hallway. "She's really gone?" Emma asked in a small voice. James knelt down and pulled her into his arms. "She's really gone, Princess, and she's never coming back. I promise." Emma buried her face in James's shoulder and started crying. Not sad tears exactly, but relieved tears, like she'd been holding her breath for years and could finally breathe again. "Emma," James said gently, "I need you to tell me the truth. Has Victoria been hurting you when I'm not around?" Emma nodded against his shoulder. "She yells at me, calls me stupid and worthless. She tries to make me eat things she knows I'm allergic to, and when I get sick, she says I'm being dramatic." James's hands clenched into fists, but he kept his voice calm. "Why didn't you tell me?" "She said if I told, she'd make sure I never saw you again," Emma whispered. "She said she'd tell everyone you were a bad uncle and take me away. I was so scared." "Oh, Princess," James's voice broke. "I'm so sorry. I should have seen it. I should have protected you better." "You didn't know," Emma said. "Victoria is really good at pretending to be nice when adults are watching." James pulled back to look at her. "She's never coming back. And tomorrow we're going to meet with Catherine, with your mother." "My real mommy," Emma said, smiling through her tears. "And Lily, my twin sister." "Yes," James said, "and we're going to figure all of this out together, as a family." "A real family," Emma said hopefully, "with Mommy and Lily and you?" "If that's what you want," James said. "That's what I've always wanted," Emma whispered. "A real family that loves me." James hugged her tight. "You have that now, Emma. You've always had it. I love you more than anything in this world." "I love you too, Uncle James." Emma yawned. "Can we see Mommy and Lily tomorrow?" "First thing in the morning," James promised. "Now let's get you to bed. You need rest." The next morning, James and Emma arrived at Catherine's office exactly at 10. Emma clutched James's hand nervously, but her eyes sparkled with excitement. The office door opened, and Lily burst out first. "Emma! Lily!" Emma let go of James's hand and ran to her sister. The twins collided in a hug, laughing and crying at the same time. They looked so identical it was startling. The only difference was Emma's paleness and thinness compared to Lily's healthy glow. Catherine stood in the doorway, tears streaming down her face as she watched her daughters together for the first time in 9 years. "Hi, Mommy," Emma said shyly, looking up at Catherine. Catherine dropped to her knees and opened her arms. Emma ran into them, and Catherine held her daughter like she'd never let go again. "My baby," Catherine sobbed. "My beautiful, brave baby. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I couldn't find you sooner." "It's okay," Emma whispered. "You're here now. That's all that matters." Lily joined the hug, and the three of them held each other, crying and laughing, finally whole. James stood back, giving them space, his own eyes wet with tears. After several minutes, Catherine stood, wiping her face. She looked at James with gratitude and caution mixed together. "Mr. Carter," she said. "James, we need to talk." "Yes," James agreed. "We do." They moved into Catherine's office while the twins played in the waiting room under Marcus's watchful eye. Catherine and James sat across from each other, the air heavy with 9 years of misunderstanding. "I didn't abandon her," Catherine said immediately. "I need you to know that. Victoria imprisoned me. She stole Emma and told me she died." James leaned forward. "Tell me everything. Please, I need to understand." Catherine took a deep breath and told him the whole story. The basement imprisonment, the birth of the twins, Victoria taking Emma and declaring her dead, Dr. Harrison helping Catherine escape with Lily, building a new life in London, becoming Dr. Monroe, and finally coming back for revenge and finding Emma alive. "Victoria told Michael that you died in childbirth," James said when she finished. He raised Emma for 8 years before he passed away last year. He loved her so much, Catherine. He was a good father, even though he never knew the truth." "I'm glad," Catherine said, tears in her eyes. "I'm glad Emma had someone who loved her, even if it started with lies." "When Michael died, I became Emma's guardian," James continued. "Victoria tried to position herself as a mother figure, but something always felt wrong. I should have trusted my instincts." "You couldn't have known," Catherine said. "Victoria is a master manipulator." James pulled out a folder. "These are the documents transferring my shares to you, 30% as you requested. But Catherine, I'm not giving them to you as payment for saving Emma." Catherine looked up, surprised. "I'm giving them to you because they should be yours," James said firmly. "Your mother built that company. Victoria stole it through lies and murder. This is justice, not a transaction." Catherine's eyes filled with fresh tears. "Thank you," she whispered. "Now," James's voice turned hard, "how do we destroy Victoria?" Catherine smiled, and it was sharp as a knife. "There's a charity gala in 3 days. Victoria will be there playing the society matron. That's where we expose everything. Publicly, with evidence, with witnesses, with the police ready to arrest her." "I'll be there," James said, "and I'll bring every piece of evidence I have about Emma's poisoning." Over the next 3 days, they prepared. Catherine gathered 9 years of evidence. Medical records, financial documents, witness testimonies. James documented Victoria's abuse of Emma. Marcus coordinated with the police. And the twins? They were inseparable, making up for lost time, planning matching outfits for the gala, dreaming of their future as a real family. On the night of the gala, Catherine arrived with Lily on one side and Emma on the other. James walked beside them, protective and proud. The twins wore identical purple dresses, and everyone stopped to stare. Victoria saw them enter and went white as a ghost. The exposure was swift and brutal. Catherine presented evidence on a massive screen. Documents, recordings, testimonies. Victoria's crimes laid bare for everyone to see. Murder, kidnapping, fraud, child abuse. The police arrested Victoria in front of hundreds of witnesses as cameras flashed and phones recorded. Her screams of denial meant nothing against the mountain of proof. When it was over, Catherine stood on the stage with her daughters on either side and James standing with them. "9 years ago, I was a victim," Catherine said to the crowd and the cameras. "Today, I'm a survivor. And tomorrow, I'm a mother reuniting with both my daughters. That's the real victory here." The crowd erupted in applause. Later that night, back at Catherine's penthouse, the family sat together. Emma was already looking healthier after just 3 days of proper nutrition and Catherine's preliminary treatments. "Mommy," Emma asked, "are we really going to be okay now?" Catherine pulled both girls close. "Yes, baby. We're going to be more than okay. We're going to be a family." "What about Uncle James?" Lily asked. "Is he part of our family too?" Catherine looked at James, who smiled gently. "If he wants to be," she said. "I do," James said simply. "These girls need all the family they can get." Emma yawned, exhausted but happy. "I'm so glad you came back, Mommy. I knew you would. I always knew." "And I'm so glad I found you," Catherine whispered, kissing her daughters' heads. "Both of you, my beautiful, brave girls." As the twins drifted off to sleep, Catherine and James sat together in comfortable silence. "What happens now?" James asked. "Now?" Catherine smiled. "Now we heal. We build a life together as a family. We watch these girls grow up safe and loved, and we make sure Victoria never hurts anyone again." "That sounds perfect," James said. And it was. Life can be cruel. People can steal everything from you, your freedom, your children, your identity. They can lock you away and tell the world you don't exist. But here's the truth. You are stronger than what happened to you. Catherine didn't just survive her nightmare. She transformed it into power. She became someone even her enemies had to respect. When life knocks you down, and it will, you have a choice. You can stay broken, or you can rebuild yourself into something unbreakable. You can let the darkness win, or you can become the light that exposes it. The people who hurt you are counting on you staying weak, staying silent, staying defeated. Don't give them that satisfaction. Rise up, fight back, reclaim what's yours. And remember, family isn't just about blood. It's about who shows up, who fights for you, who refuses to let you face the darkness alone. Catherine, James, and those two brave little girls proved that love and justice are stronger than any lie. So fall if you must. Grieve if you need to. But then rise. Rise stronger, smarter, and more determined than ever. Because your comeback story is waiting to be written, and it's going to be magnificent. If this story moved you, wait until you see what happens when a betrayed daughter returns as a judge to her father's courtroom. Click the video on screen right now for a twist that will leave you speechless.